From Divine Sister of the Light Sangita Handa, the 1010 portal opening. Number 10 in celestial Gematria signifies God's authority, completeness, God's order, and divine perfection. Now let's begin with a soul. A soul is an emergence of God, or simply explained, an extension of God, an outward manifestation. The soul knows its source. It doesn't need to discover God. It departed from source to look at God from the outside so it could express its gratitude and appreciation of God. But in the corporeal shell, the human body, the mind takes over and silences, if not dismisses, the source totally. The human mind sees itself as a separate entity, or identity, much akin to Lucifer in the God parable. In the 3D star program, the soul volunteered to descend into total obscurity and disconnection. A very bold, courageous, yet pompous decision, quite overconfident of its ultimate control over the whimsical, to cut it mildly, an illusioned mind. Now you entered the arena of total lack and continual loss, as a learning institutional playground or school. Confident that when thrown in a dark abyss, you would instinctively and intuitively tap into the reservoir of non-dual energies of godly attributes. Being organically a soul, an emergence from God, of God, you would not fear the dark but resort to automatically, because its generic in composition, switch on the light. Today, if you enter a dark room in an unknown territory, you will reflexively look for a light switch to disperse the darkness, won't you? So thought the soul. It was that soul assured and definitive, and that darkness, the lack and loss, would not impose any threat to its counterpart. So coming from that place of secured and convinced assurity, the soul offered its participation in the abyss of total darkness. The soul understood that God is not what its counterpart would need to re-identify itself with, nor invest in knowing it. It further understood that the environment of evolution would be one of lack, loss, suffering, just so its body and mind would need to tap into the godly attributes of non-dual qualities in order to maneuver a safer float above the darkness. The human would need to tap into peace wherever and whenever it confronted conflict, and immediately Shanti would supersede. The human would need to tap into joy when in a condition of lack, so the darkness doesn't incapacitate the human's life. The human being would need to tap into detachment when faced with loss, so the pain doesn't overwhelm and cripple the human. This is all a human needs to learn from a 3D world of intense and extreme duality. If one remains in the generic consciousness of peace, all wars and fightings would evaporate as fast as they emerge. If one stays connected to God's vibration of joy, no lack of money can create fear and anxiety. The human would know he and she is taken care of by God. If the human remained in the feeling world of the light, he would not spiral down into emotions of pain and suffering. Detachment would be the natural order of his nature. This is why we came to Earth planet, to hold on to our organic God attributes in total darkness, bereft of all light. This is our only test. Be the consciousness of God at all times, irrespective. This is the divine message from the light to us all on the 1010 portal opening, because number 10 is a good karma number, not a karmic debt number as the other compounded numbers are. So sit on the 10th at 10 a.m. and p.m. at your time zone with no conversion of time required and receive your good karma. And henceforth keep the cosmic advice or cosmic wisdom at the forefront when faced with an upsurge of darkness. Remain rooted in the God consciousness qualities to remain afloat. It's organic to your nature. You do not need to make any effort to discover it, unravel it, or comprehend nor master it. It is natural. Just be as soul assured and pompous as your soul is. Be confident that you are God. where there is only abundance, prosperity, richness, undying wealth, perfect health, only joy, love, light, and enlightenment. Why do you think whenever a human has a near-death experience, he never wanted to return to earth? He found himself in the completeness of complete joy and love, with such overwhelming lightness and perfection and beauty that he understood the hell, that is earth, as an abnormal venue for evolution. Each human, once having accidentally walked into heaven, was adamant in not returning to hell. How could he? Why would she? But had to return, as his learning was not yet complete, his karma not yet resolved. But look at the benevolence of the Father. Once that human was forcibly pushed back to hell, his life changed and became better. Not cause the circumstances improved, but because he had changed. Once having felt the love that hell lacked, God had been experienced, appreciated, and gratitude felt, unlike when in the spirit. He now understood the value of hell and became eager to learn all hell had to offer before he returned to God's home forever, with renewed vigor and a new comprehension of its creator. The galactic sun. The 1010 portal is a cosmic astrological event that occurs when the sun aligns with the galactic center on October 10th of every year. Remember, the galactic center is the massive black hole of the galaxy. Its radiation is a conglomeration of the blue ray 1 and the violet ray 7. And as if it weren't powerful enough on its own, this year the 1010 portal is opening in the number year of 7. Both rays work together. One is of exorcism and the other of alchemy. One obliterates, the other transmutates, while both purify and submit to the will of God. Furthermore, one represents karmic completion and the other rebirth, and together they create the perfection of balance and the zero-point energy of their source. It is believed thereafter the wheel starts to move again, and now in a new direction as a new cycle of evolution begins. The 1010 portal is consequently known as the RAJ, or the Royal One. The 1010 portal is also said to open the gateway for the new moon in Libra on October 14th, when the ring of fire solar eclipse shall occur, crossing the entire diameter of the United States, the effects of which are already rattling the planet and ushering in the radiation of the galactic center, the black hole of the galaxy. From SangeetaHanda.net.